Could Xbox be getting another massive PlayStation first-party game? Some links are pointing towards it being the case, so we will take a look at that. We have some interesting stories dropping here in terms of Xbox's investment into Game Pass and just how big it's been, and how Game Pass partners are continuously coming back to the service. We have some more games that have dropped into Xbox Game Pass, and then we have some stories about Elder Scrolls 6 and Borderlands 4, Black Ops 7. So we will get into all of these stories. But before we do continue, if it is your first time here, I make daily gaming news videos, 8 a.m. to keep you up to date on everything happening. So if you do enjoy this type of content, make sure to hit the subscribe button. As I see many of you who do watch on a daily basis are not subscribed, so I would appreciate it. But for now, let's get into the news. So the future of gaming clearly is multi-platform. The exclusivity thing between PlayStation and Xbox is slowly going away. PlayStation started here this year with their Helldivers 2 dropping onto Xbox, and I guess you could say that's the first big one that a lot of people recognize that PlayStation was making this pivot, but it's not the first game from PlayStation on Xbox, because MLB The Show has been there in the past. And obviously PlayStation putting their games onto PC was the beginning of them putting their games on more devices and more areas and becoming more multi-platform. But the question now is, after Helldivers 2, because it was a big success on Xbox, what would be the next game that is going to come over to the Xbox platform? There's been lots of speculation. Horizon has popped up in the speculation multiple times. People thinking that the Horizon Lego game would potentially be landing on Xbox because it's already on the Nintendo Switch. But it looks like maybe, just maybe, that it could be the actual big Horizon, their main game here, that may be landing on the Xbox itself. There is this report here saying that the Xbox store links discovered for Horizon Zero Dawn and other PS5 games. But don't get too excited, because the reality is this is something we've seen as an error in the past, an indexing error. But there's a lot more discussion now simply because of a game like Helldivers 2 landing on the Xbox platform. But this is a tweet that did pop up here, and it says, Horizon Zero Dawn on Xbox WTF. It turns out there really is an Xbox page listing. And if we take a look at the picture itself, you'll see just what I'm talking about. If you go and you type in Horizon Zero Dawn on Xbox on Google, it will show up within an Xbox page listing here. See, it says that Horizon Zero Dawn Xbox.com, but no more information is available on the page. And when you do click on it, nothing does end up coming up. Now, we have seen this happen in the past. This is not the very first time this has happened, as there have been some Google index listing errors, and we've seen PlayStation games show up on the Xbox store, which has brought up the speculation. They say here that, is this an indication of anything? They say almost certainly not. In fact, lots of people have been pointing out that these links have existed for ages, and their visibility appears to be the result of indexing errors from Google. So as of right now, don't get too crazy excited. But I think the discussion is far more valid today than it was just a few months ago, simply because Helldivers 2 did land on the Xbox platform and it sold very well. And PlayStation is looking to expand out, and they've talked about becoming more multi-platform. They've talked about their strategy shift and looking at user engagement and the amount of people playing their games, which would indicate here they want to put their games in more places to increase those users and make more money to make better margins. So could Horizon happen? I don't think it's out of the question, at least right now. The other thing is, this is Herman Hulst's baby, and he is the head of PlayStation Studios at this point. And I think for him, the main thing that he cares about is the bottom line and the success of their games. If Horizon can land on another platform and sell a couple more million copies, and it puts it at the top tier, the number one PlayStation first-party game out there, that looks good on Herman Hulst. And it being his game, I think, is even more incentive. So you never know. But right now, there are listings randomly popping up here, and could just be an error from Google. All right, Game Pass, there's people still talk about whether it's successful, sustainable. Developers like it is absurd at this point. We know that this Game Pass has been successful. It's been here since 2017. It clearly is increasing the Xbox brand and the Xbox ecosystem. And in the reports, it is one of the more successful parts of the Xbox business. So we know the Xbox Game Pass is doing completely well. We keep getting amazing stuff, and it continues to improve. And this year has been a monumental year for Xbox and Game Pass. It really has has been phenomenal from beginning to end and will be till the end of the year, especially when we look forward to what is coming out this month and beyond. And now we know why it has been so good. And it is because it has made the largest investment in Xbox Game Pass ever. This has been a huge, huge year. They've obviously doubled down on the service itself, which is another point towards Game Pass isn't going anywhere. It is Xbox at this point. They say this is a new interview from the outlet Eurogamer. Chris Charla, who is the ID at Xbox boss, and it says that Microsoft has made its largest investment in Game Pass to date in 2025 so far, saying here, the majority of partners who've had a game in Game Pass want to bring their future titles to the service. So you put a game in there, they see the success of it, they see what it brings to the table, and they want to come back. As a result, we've signed deals with more than 150 partners to expand the catalog, and we continue to engage with hundreds of partners each year to review upcoming titles. Last year, we worked with over 50 teams to sign their first Game Pass deal. This year marks our largest investment in Game Pass to date, and we remain focused on delivering the most exciting and diverse catalog in gaming. And it says here, it appears that the comments relate to third-party Game Pass deals, especially given that Charla heads up Microsoft's ID at Xbox team and the folks responsible for bringing independently published titles to the platform. And that is, I mean, clearly the focus here is the third-party deals, because we know already that the investment from their first party games is massive because they're all landing day one. Like if you're putting a game like Call of Duty in the service every year, that's already a massive investment into the subscription service. But third-party deals have been super good. Big games, small games. You look at the most recent announcement of games that are dropping in, and there's some more games even dropping today or dropped yesterday that are in early access that you're going to be able to play and stuff. It has been phenomenal. Whether you care about the big AAA or whether you care about the smaller indie or even AA games, you've had something to play every single month continuously. And we know why, because the investment continues to grow. And because of that success, I feel like next year there'll be even larger investment and it will just continue to go up as more developers are wanting to get into the Xbox Game Pass service. In fact, we do talk about some more games that are available. One great thing that Xbox does have with Xbox Game Pass is early access to games. Games that go into the game preview program, you get to check those out. Two more have landed in here, September 22nd and September 23rd. Some pretty cool ones here. You got Endless Legends, which is like a 4X game, 4X strategy game. Or Endless Legends 2, I should say, it's the sequel to the first one that is available on PC Game Pass here and Xbox Game Pass. So you can go ahead and check that one out if you're into those styles of games. And then we also have this game here, which looks pretty cool because this is from Team 17 and it basically looks like a Hades game. If you like Hades, you're probably going to want to check this one out. This is called Sworn, and this is the 1.0 release. So you can just see the movement and the action of it, and the attacks are similar to Hades. It is a co-op action rogue-like with 1 to 4 players in co-op, and I think it looks pretty cool. And as well as Hades has dropped into the service, so if you like those styles of games, you're just gonna have so much to play here for a little bit. So 2 more games. It shows that investment that companies want to put into Game Pass, and they continuously keep dropping. And we're in September, and then we go into October, and you have some big hitters like The Outer Worlds 2, Ninja Gaiden 4, and then you move into November and you have Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Like, it's just phenomenal this year what Game Pass has been able to bring. There's no people that can be sitting there and thinking, oh, I have nothing to play if they are on the Xbox ecosystem. All right, we have some kind of a guess estimation, a league, whatever you would want to call this one. I think this is just, it's an easy guess here to make simply because this is when I think most people would be expecting this one to come out, or at least this year and beyond. That's the Elder Scrolls 6. Apparently here, there's a target release date, and this comes via the leaker Ecstasies, and saying that the target release date could be late 2027. That's what the studio is targeting. I mean, it's obviously very vague, and I could see 2027 being realistic if they're potentially trying to get this thing ready to launch with a next-gen Xbox of some sort or a piece of hardware release. Late 2027 makes complete sense. I think that's potentially when Xbox is going to be releasing their own big first-party piece of hardware. If If they were to drop Elder Scrolls 6 on that on the same day, that would be a huge win for them. But it says here, Ecstasy's timestamp video below claims that the studio is targeting a late 2027 release window for the Elder Scrolls 6. While he doesn't provide internal evidence to support his claim, he does say that the information he's collected would lead him to logically believe that the game will launch by then. And I mean, that is a very logical guess, estimation as to when this game would be coming out because of when it was announced and how long it's been in development. And then also you think about the time between Starfield launching to Elder Scrolls 6 coming out. A lot more resources have been pushed onto Elder Scrolls 6 with fewer people working on Starfield and the DLC and stuff. So 2027 does make sense. This will be just huge, a huge release. One of the biggest entertainment releases, I think, when Elder Scrolls 6 does end up dropping. Borderlands 4, as we know, Borderlands 4 I like it. I think it's a great game. I think it's a lot of fun. It is a good video game. But it's been surrounded in controversy because of Randy Pitchford, him nonstop tweeting things and going at people, telling people to return the game. And you would think maybe this would have an effect on the sales. My prediction was that it probably wouldn't have any effect because it is a good game and it's a huge IP. And now we're seeing some sales here. It looks like Borderlands 4 has done very well and will continue to do well as they continue to update it and improve upon the performance issues that have hit the game, specifically, I would say, on PC. I've been playing it on console, and I know we've heard some things that the game gets worse as you play it after like 30 minutes or so. But to be honest, on the Series X, maybe it's just my eyes and stuff and my feel of the game. I've played it for hours at a time, and I haven't felt it really get worse. So I've thought the experience on Series X has been decent. But as we know right now, the sales are looking pretty good with a potentially, this is again from Alinea Analytics, which you have to take with a grain of salt because we don't really know how they get their numbers fully, and they've had some weird ways of estimating sales numbers. But they're saying here Borderlands 4 sales have seen over 2.5 million players that have explored Kairos since it released on September 12th. I wouldn't be shocked though if it sold a couple million right away and if it continues to do very good because this is a popular game and like I said, it is good. The firm says that on Steam alone, the game has sold over 1.3 million copies, accounting for 80 million or so in revenue. So Borderlands 4 is looking like it's going to be a success, despite Randy Pitchford almost seemingly doing everything he can to try to hurt it online in the way that he interacts and the things that he does, which we've seen hurt games in the past. When you have bad PR, you have people out there who tell gamers to not buy their games, they will go out and not buy the game. So that, as of right now, hasn't had an effect, but we'll see if it continues to be on top of the sales charts. Also, we get the official numbers for September from people like Circana and Matt Piscatella, then we'll have a much better understanding as to how well Borderlands 4 has done at launch. And finally, Black Ops 7. There is new UI and weapon build code. The feature has been revealed for this game. Black Ops 7 is coming. It's coming after Battlefield 6, so the battle of the two big FPS games is going to be starting very, very soon. I'm excited to see what Black Ops 7 is all about, especially the campaign, something I'm very interested in. And we're continuously seeing more features come out for it, and I'm sure we'll get more info as we get closer to the release. Obviously, the beta is going to be a big thing as well here for Call of Duty Black Ops 7, but we have this here. Call of Duty Black Ops 7 has new features, a fresh campaign, game modes, and other new changes compared to Black Ops 6, but the game also features a flashy new UI presentation, which I would say is desperately needed because the Call of Duty UI is just too crazy. It needed to be updated. They say we've also had cheeky glimpse at the new weapon build code feature, and we're getting close to the home stretch where Black Ops 7 is concerned. From mastery camos to exclusive guild override weapon camo, there's plenty to chew on already. And you can see just kind of a first look at the UI. It looks kind of more futuristic and highlighting all the different areas of the gun. You kind of can see through it and stuff, which is pretty cool. I don't mind that at all. Actually looks decent comparatively to what we previously did have. And you can take a look here from Charlie Intel, who always gets a lot of leaks here when it does come to Call of Duty, just exactly what this UI is going to look like. I think it looks pretty good. You go down here. This person says, I love the UI, not gonna lie. When is the beta starting? It's the same from Black Ops 6, which it is slightly different. Is that the Scar H variant? The UI is pretty slick. Rare W, I'm onto you. They continue. This looks amazing. Best UI since Black Ops 4. So far, the reception towards this new UI for Black Ops 7 is good. They're very happy about this, which is something that did need an update, and it's finally happening here. And obviously, we're going to experience this all when the beta does hit. Finally, we have some reviews here for a big game in the horror genre, and that is Silent Hill F, doing very good. People were not sure whether the leaked reviews were legit or not. There was one person that's saying it was a phenomenal game, giving it a very high score. And right now, Silent Hill F is sitting good here at an 85 on OpenCritic and an 86 on Metacritic, getting 9s and 10s and 4.5s out of 5 in terms of its review. So if you've been looking forward to wanting to play a horror game, another entry into the Silent Hill series, this one, as of right now from the critics, is looking like it will be a good one to end up checking out. But I'll end the video there. If you did enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next video.